fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy skin and we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What fi go to eat no money, what fi at you, eat no at you. Go be money, miss away in the year, look rat you. Use the youth, the money, waste my must man to statue. Say me like a cashew, but bigger than a figure you. Take this spit of money, God, and say that is not you. On the head, the man above him, up him, I got up. Too much eating at the kitchen, some fly by like a patu. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% free.
It burn me.
Garbage pile up the day.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption please.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out the beach.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy skin and we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
Come me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The urgent the promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, they rap and they down in our fever. Member bowl only and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like people themselves.
It burn me.
On the treat the market man.
It burn me.
On them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
On them treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
On them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
On them a treat the son man.
It burn me.
On them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
How them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again.
Stibby dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no cape. And some informer friend we love lake. We in Global. Bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global. We not promote them. We not support them. Look at them on the cheek come here represent for. We in Global TV. Check it.
Good morning, and welcome to our Sunday morning special broadcast. And we are responding to the by-election of the weekend gone, as well as we're wishing the Prime Minister well for his 81st annual conference of the Jamaica Labour Party. Today, we're definitely going to look at political violence in Jamaica, as well as we're going to look at the debacle unfolding in the tourism industry. What all of this spells is the coming down of a government, one that doesn't seem to be listening to the people or the electorate. To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, dear subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning to TikTok. Good morning to Clapper. Yes, that's a platform that we are also making our presence on. And to those on the Tree YouTube channel, GTV Group 385, Global TV 385 Studios, and Producer Wayne Global TV. All of our YouTube channel are monetized. You can support us if you so choose with a super chat, a super sticker, a membership. The only platform that is not rolling advert at the moment is the GTV Group. The others are rolling advert. So if you're watching over on GTV to avoid advert, make sure you support with a £2 super chat. Make sure you also like and share the live so the message gets out there this morning. Because make us say good morning first before I start. Time come, good morning. Debbie Jervis, Steve V, Empress Deb, good morning. Good morning. Contigal 84, good morning. Gloria Morris. Michelle Thomas, Marcia Thomas, rather, RJ, Violet Watson, Willie Dunn, Genevieve Lewis, Marcia S.A., Liberance Tucker, first time seeing you, good morning and welcome. Colleen Stewart, good morning. Evan Bradford, Claudette Edwards, Jason Kane, Patrick Evans, good morning. Dorothy Elliott, good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you for joining us. Let's look at the unfoldings of the by-election. The results, one might say, it's not quite something to write home about for the Jamaica Labour Party, the 2 seats that they won. Nevertheless, they won it. Patricia Matthews, Keith Salmon. Because all they need is 1 vote to win it. But the voting for 2 such prominent seats, one would argue, the voting never look. Pauline Dixon, how are you? The voting never look so handsome at all. We're looking at the 2 seats, particular Nigel Clark seat. Dwayne Smith is the son of a veteran politician, Derek Smith. Dwayne Smith is also a councillor within the constituency he's just taken over for central government seat. It's also the constituency of the shining Minister of Finance, Dr. Nigel Clark. And you mean the Jamaica Labour Party? A man who runs a division couldn't pluck up 2,000 votes in a by-election? That's not a good signal. If we're to read this into the general election, it is certainly not a good signal for the government, because a councillor, a sitting councillor, and this is not a divisional vote, this is a constituency vote. This is a constituency vote. It's not a local government vote. This is a sitting local government councillor, a son of a veteran politician, a so-called Labour stronghold seat. Millicent Jones, Vernon Adams, Lawrence Wood. Cash, how are you? And you mean to tell me that the Jamaica Labour Party couldn't have scooped more than 1,863 votes? And I'm sure they've bought a lot of those votes. Now, given that the Labour machine has time to work this area in their safe zone, how is it going to look, Andrew Holness, when every MP will have to be bat and balling in their constituency? Near Brent, how are you? In order to garner that support to return the seat for you to central government. It is a win, Prime Minister, in the sense of a by-election. It is not a window, Prime Minister, for a sitting government. Neither Oh, Brittany, sorry. Remember somebody always there named Nair Brenner as well, but hey, sorry. Sorry, Brittany. So this is not promising for a constituency where you buy big trust and you could get out less than 1,000. Or you same one? Okay. You couldn't bring out 2,000 votes, a seat that you're depending on for the central government for the general election. And you couldn't bring in 2,000 votes. This is what this is showing you, Prime Minister. Morning, Kathy. How are you? What this is showing you is that even your stronghold, Prime Minister, your support is broken. The people them sit down upon them hand. The people them say we're not going to come out and work for this government who slave work with, like the tourism sector, we don't get deadly squat out of it. Then you look at Dalrymple's seat, Yvette Gonzalez. Veteran so-called Dalrymple. Dalrymple in front of the court. Dalrymple is back. But look at it. Less than 5,000 votes against an independent who took 1,000 odd votes. An independent candidate who people just vote for out of maybe respect for him or whatever, June 26. It doesn't look good. Those seat, Prime Minister Sharon Bernard, are a test case for you. But I don't know if the advice you're being given, you are aware that they are wrong, that string out the election as long as you can, Ashton, and try to revive yourself. It will not happen. Those are all bad, terrible advice. So Marissa Dalrymple seat against a popular Paul Patmore, quite unsafe because you don't have the entire labor machine to go down there at the time. You won't have the labor machine to go there at the time. Each MP and councillor and their workers will have to focus on their constituency, making it the influence, Prime Minister, much thinner across the board. So it really does not look good for your Andrew Holness, but delaying the general election, taking to the general election down to the wire, will be as disastrous as what has been happening since the local government election in February. The PNP wins the 2 divisional seat. Their majority isn't great either, but the Anantone division is a flip because the JLP won the seat in February. So, Bangarang, that's again where the more division you lose, it's the more likely it is that you will lose a constituency. So it no look good for the Jamaica Labour Party on all fronts either. Morant Bay, it wasn't a huge margin for the People's National Party, but it's a seat they have retained. But it doesn't look good for the Labour the divisions they have lost during the local government election, February up to now, the continued breakaway of credibility, it's only going to get worse. Let's listen to Marissa Dalrymple Filbert on her return, Joan Brown, Karen Nemad, before we go into the violence. No, let us look at the violent threat from constituents of Marissa Dalrymple Filbert before we look at Marissa Dalrymple's argument of her return. Maybe somebody else have heard, but I have not heard the Jamaica Labour Party properly address the political violence that we saw before threats, intimidation, and during. I know the People's National Party make representation to the police in order to bring their knowledge to it once and to plead to them for unbiased policing. Let's listen to Marissa Dalrymple Filbert, constituent, before we go on to listen to Marissa Dalrymple herself.
We cannot see my hairstyle about me. Right. So good morning, public announcement. If I no green, no come up here. If I no mama D, no pass the gate. Cause what you say I catch? If I no green, no come up here. Cause anything I get bombed. Believe. Anything else I get bombed. Don't come up here if I no green. One mama D. Me I do interview, miss. Me I do interview. Let me talk to the people there. You see me, you know, bright and early, you know, come out and vote for Mama D. Because we know better how we are going to do it.
Years of excitement. So, we couldn't be nothing else but Labour, right? PMP said time come, but come for what? Because say what? The best election are right in a South Trelawney. All the election when they run, I just for South Trelawney, them want to see. Because this a seat you can't lose, not there. Because guess what? The independent, them they run up. Independent PMP, them, you know, them gonna pretend, but we don't know because we live at Trelawney for how much years, so we definitely know. Say at the PMP them a vote independent, and that is.
Never mind the buzzcocks, we would say. The scenes that we are seeing that came out of the by-election, given that we heard the Prime Minister said earlier he will not allow PMPism to return to Jamaica, Roy Clark, the Deputy Speaker of the House, said this election, the general election, will not be peaceful. Chopper John came out and made a threat before the local government, the by-election, regarding Marissa Dalrymple Filbert, an instruction given from the badman Prime Minister and in badman friend them that Marissa Dalrymple Filbert shouldn't be challenged by members of the Jamaica Labour Party.
Yes, Mama D, we are going to kill the hands of this youth. I never see it yet. I never see me drop my hand yet. No guy never see me drop, not even PNP never see me drop my hand yet. I'm saying I'm willing to drop it on you. In a way that you will never return. Okay. I remember some have the ambition to do it, you know. Remember that. That is what life you are taking in your bank. So be careful away. Don't mash up the dance about our dances, you know you. I say anything the party leader say, that's Allah. You understand? You have to make it know. Where the leader say Allah.
Yeah, man.
Simple put. Law.
Yeah, man.
And when you break the law, there's consequences.
Yeah, man.
That's your pipe, me gone.
what the leader says is law. What Andrew Holness says is law, and anyone challenges Marissa Dalrymple, Filbert will feel the hands of Chopper John, Andrew Holness, and the JLP gangsters, is what Chopper John is saying. But let's listen to Marissa Dalrymple argument of her return. Next to nothing, a bug full of fluff from Marissa Dalrymple. Filbert, if that was the case, my dear, why did you really return? Because your integrity is still in status, you're still in front of the court. Marissa, if justice was justice, you may have been going to prison. But let's listen to the crook.
Question about the Integrity Commission, the recommendation that you be charged. How do you plan to treat that now that you're re-elected to the House?
I'm treating it as I did before, as someone who is an attorney. And
Sometime a pig wearing lipstick look awfully different from when a pig is not wearing lipstick. If you understand, you understand. If you don't, you just don't.
Someone who has strong views about my own integrity. I have taken the move very seriously, and that is why I resigned in the first place. I had there was no need for me to resign. There's nothing that said I had to resign. But I felt in myself that I ought to have done so. I have placed myself in the hands of the courts, and I have the greatest respect for our court system in this island, and we have completed our submissions before the court, and I wait the court's decision. And I'm very comfortable with myself. I re-entered the political arena, having placed myself there for over a year and 2 months. I'm a committed laborite. The people in South Carolina and myself have bonded. We have a relationship that surpasses representational politics. We're a family, a true family. We get along today, we have differences, but we always circle each other when it becomes necessary. And I felt it was the time and it was necessary for me to move back into the seat, to assist the people who have been good and loyal to me and serve my party as a committed laborer. And I'm always going to do that, regardless of what happens.
No, Miss Filbert. If it is that you recused yourself from public life because of matters of integrity, Miss Filbert, the matter is still not cleared up. So to return, Miss Filbert, it doesn't really make sense because you're still in front of the court fighting of the stolen goods, your hands in the cookie jar that the Integrity Commission found, Miss Filbert. Isn't it all politically expedient? But Miss Filbert, your family, they did not turn out. The family who you claim them to be in South Trelawney, they did not really turn out to support Miss Filbert, is it? Them really never turn out to support Miss Filbert at all. Because that little tiny tip, yeah, where you're carrying, where is Miss Filbert? On the 5,000 votes, Miss Filbert, a veteran MP, former Speaker of the House, Robert, former Speaker of the House. But what I have not heard from you, Miss Filbert, or the Jamaica Labour Party, is checking the violence, the public intimidation that has been advanced by your supporters. I am yet to see and hear you all condemn it in public. You all are acting like it is not happening. Acting like it is not happening. Let's go over now to scenes that we've witnessed coming from what's you call it, Annan Town in the Clarendon area. Where is my video? I'm blind, me blind? No, I'm not. Certainly not. Right, I can move the Dalrymples because I've played them already. Remove the crooked Dalrymple so I don't confuse myself here. Right, let's look at some of the violence we saw. Is this one of them? Yes! No, I'm not ready for that yet. I'm certainly not ready for that yet. That's for the tourism sector. Right, Robert, how are you? Let's look at some violence that came out of Annan Town, where the police had to discharge. Now, all these are is scenes of violence that we have seen during the era of the 1980s. During the era of the 1980 mid-70s to 80 election, when it was quite turbulence around us politically. Whoever started the violence, both parties are involved in it. However, we constantly see a lot of threats, public threats, intimidation, and threats of violence coming from the Jamaica Labour Party, unchecked. Unchecked. The hierarchies turn a blind eye. They act as if it is not happening. Are we returning? Is the Jamaica Labour Party and its slow death of power taking us back to the violence of the 80s? Because we've seen scenes of it during this by-elections. We have seen them warning us that the general election will not be safe. Given the bias policing that we have sometimes, where is this all taking us? Because the Labour them look like them and say, if we don't have the integrity to win, we're going to turn things and place upside down. We're going to turn things and place upside down. Right. Contention is brewing over who becomes the mayor for Clarendon Municipal Corporation. The PNP has now gained control of the council, but a Labour mayor was already appointed, which the procedure, as I understand, to remove them is to take a vote of no confidence, as the People's National Party would have majority of the municipal at the moment. Is take a vote of no confidence against the sitting People's National Party mayor. And if he lost that vote of confidence, he would have to be issued out, and then the People's National Party could take control of the municipal corporation. So let's see the political armory that the People's National Party will play out in that parish in order to gain operational control of the corporation. So that's one that is currently unfolding. Like Fitzbailey no move out of my face. Or Fitzbailey get back in my face. Sandra, how are you? Miss Dalpa without the makeup and the clowning and all of that. No. This is something that I take very, very serious. I live in a very racist country. A lot of us who live in the diaspora deals with racism on a regular basis, institutional and otherwise. Now, I cannot fight against racism in Britain and not fight against racism in Jamaica. This racist rhetoric coming from the Jamaica Labour Party, collective responsibility. We cannot blame Edward Warmington alone for the racism that we are seeing from the Jamaica Labour Party towards Mark Golden. What happened to that Jamaican motto, out of many, one people? Is Mark Golden not Jamaican anymore? How could it be that Mark Golden is not Jamaican? But Matthew Samuda, born in London, is Jamaican. Kamina Johnson-Smith is Jamaican. Delroy Chuck is Jamaican. Carl Samuda is Jamaican. Tam Tavares is Jamaican. But all of a sudden, Mark Golden is not Jamaican anymore. Our parliament is littered with white parliamentarians on the Jamaica Labour Party side. And you mean to tell me that none of these white people in Jamaica, none of these white people in private sector Jamaica, they have no problem with the racism advanced by the Jamaica Labour Party? You mean those white hypocrites, those children of the slave masters, you mean they have no problem with the racism advanced by the Jamaica Labour Party? Well, I will not tolerate it. Pack your bag and go on. Somebody call the truck because you not go stay at Jamaica if Mark Golden would. Pack your bag and go on. Small Dick Ellen DeGeneres left America since Donald Trump win. However, she did stay there for the first term. But maybe because she run from the Diddy scandal, Small Dick Ellen DeGeneres, because of Trump she run to man will walk and rape young boy. But certainly you cannot go to Cayman, because remember, you've raped a young man from Grand Cayman before, Mr. Warmington. So that is not a place where you'll be able to head to. But Jamaica people and members of the People's National Party, supporters of the People's National Party, do not tolerate this racism. Do not tolerate this racism if it isn't good enough for us. If it's not acceptable for us, it's not acceptable for Mark Golden. What happened to the out of many one people bullshit that we normally come up with? How much white people have you seen in the People's National Party? Few of them. The Jamaica Labour Party is littered with children of the slave master. Matthew Samuda, born in London. Mark Golden, even if Mark Golden never born in Jamaica, what's the problem? From we know him and them live and work. So he would have citizenship based on tenure and lived a long time. All if him no born and grow there. What's Matthew Samuda never born in Jamaica? Matthew Samuda was born in London here where I live. So you mean because we must tolerate racism against Mark Golding, so then we have to tolerate the racism from white people in Britain and America? And how I don't see the diaspora in Britain and America standing up against this? If we stay quiet to this, then when we face the racism in Europe, we must stand damn quiet to make white people do what they want to do in their country. If we make everyone Warmington do what they want to do in Jamaica, then we are to allow white people to be racist in their country. If we can allow Jamaicans to be blatantly racist in our country, why white people not for racist enough for them country too? Everybody jump at Donald Trump, but I don't see nobody had jumped down everyone Warmington throat. If Donald Trump said this, it would have been a brouhaha. Why black people should be sheltered and protected to be racist and bigots? This is not tolerable, and it will not be tolerated. And the people of Jamaica must not tolerate. We've tolerated enough dunceness and backwardness from the Jamaica Labour Party. But the racism we're not going to tolerate from the Jamaica Labour Party. Not in our Jamaica, where since inception of our dealings with the Spanish and the British, it has been a fight against racism, personal and institutional. And you mean to tell us that the Jamaica Labour Party, with so much white MPs, so much foreign MPs, Chinese Delroy Chuck, Chinese Horace Chang, Matthew Samuda, Carl Samuda, Marlene Malahoo Fort, she not black neither. If we go down that route, she from the Indian them. So the racism with the Jamaica Labour Party is advancing. Uno make yourself look duncer than ever. Because Uno are the party will still have all the choppings of the slave master left over. Are you all are not looking at yourself? When since Jamaica, two most famous politicians are white men, how do we get back here? White Siaga ruled us. White Syrian Siaga ruled us. White English Mandley ruled us. How do we get back into this level of racism, Jamaica? And then we want to say we're advancing and going forward. I hope the people of Jamaica, who are praying to get a visa to come a foreign, want to learn well from Everard Warmington that you must accept racism when you come a foreign. Come buck it up. Because racism has become wholesale in Jamaica. This is a wholesale behavior. And not one of his party members seem to see or heard anything of what's going on. Not one of them. Just like the political violence that we have seen during the by-elections over the weekend. The Jamaica Labour Party is being silent. Because we know when the Jamaica Labour Party is losing, they turn violently. We saw that behavior in St. Thomas from Dean Jones and his henchmen during the local government election of February. I know nothing strange. It's not anything. No, I do not blame the span dunceness. This have nothing to do with dunceness. This is downright racism. And a dunceness make him assist so. Because Everard Warmington now come out here, come tell we say, him did invite the young man from Cayman to come at the lodge meeting, and then him same one turn around, rape the young man, and then buy out the family case. If I did dunce, him would have come out, come tell with them something. So we don't use dunceness to excuse racism. Racism is racism is racism is racism. Why Mark Golden one color? Why Mark Golden one color in a Jamaica has automatically become a problem? Because the Jamaica Labour Party see and know that they're going to lose to Mark Golden. I know it's quite a hard pill to swallow, Jamaica Labour Party. Just drink a lot of water. It will go down. Drink a lot of water, relax. So your throat can free up, so it can go down. Just drink a lot of water. That bitter pill certainly will go down. But what we will not tolerate is this nasty type of racism in our country. After we have with our foreign a battle with racism every day, we're not going to tolerate it. And I hope Jamaicans can stand against it and push back against it. Otherwise, when you come a foreign and you buck it up, you just shut up like you shut up to when Everard Warmington racism applaud round Mark Golden. This is regular. It's not the first Everard Warmington do it. Everard Warmington regularly carry out these racial attacks on the leader of the opposition. It is something that we should not accept. We know what racism feel like. We who live in the West, we have to engage it every day. We who live in the West, who have to engage it every day, we know it's not a nice thing. So Mark Golden, in a 95 or 98% black Jamaica, cannot feel good to have these racism being directed personally at him. We go through it. We know how it feels. We battle against it daily. Should we continue accepting this bullshit? Or should we respond to them at the poll to say we have moved beyond the 1980s of the Jamaica Labour Party? We're now going to look at strong leaders, leaders with balls, leaders that do not roll over and bend over to the institutional masters. Let's look now at the unfolding in the tourism sector, as well as we will take that further into how Antigua is dealing with the multinationals abuse in the tourism sector. So let's look at how our slave masters who lead the plantation deals with the issue as opposed to another plantation leader in Antigua.
This is a dangerous road. We want you guys to be on the inside of the property. We're going to have refreshments and so on to serve everybody. Meeting on the inside with the general manager to sit now and go through the concerns that you have raised, because you guys have a democratic right to do what you're doing. And we respect that, because you guys as workers in the industry, you are the cornerstone of Jamaica's tourism project. And the product cannot work without the workers. It's as simple as that. So you have the assurance of us that we're taking this very seriously. As I said, we're on the phone this morning with the owners of Iberostar, who I know to be good people, but sometimes when they run these big companies with tens of thousands of employees all over the world, things. But for
now, here's one of the plantation in the Caribbean. The slaves are in revolt. And what you have on this plantation is master steward, master henchman, master's gatekeeper comes to the plantation and he's telling us, oh, master have food and drink over there. You want to come and sit down? No, because we can't eat master food on a daily basis. We have to walk hungry. So no. Come, the sun is hot. Let's stand under the tree in master. No. When we walk out here in a terrible condition, uno our master no see we. So no, we are turn out here in the sun and we are turn out here hungry as usual. Does that calm the revolt? No. The slaves are still revolting on the plantation.
More money, we want more money, we want more money, more money, more money, more money, more money. Better treatment, better treatment, better treatment, better treatment, better treatment, better treatment.
Now to the Jamaica plantation holders, what the people are asking for, better pay and better treatment. What we do not need is for master's henchmen to come down here and try to quell the rebellion. Because no matter what, we're going to continue to rebel.
Yes! Yes, Bahia, do the thing! Do the thing, Bahia! Yes, Bahia! I want you to look at people!
All of this with everything else happening around the government, such as the integrity collapse of the government selfishness, the government shed-handedness of not even supporting those who are closest and dearest to them. This is certainly the fall of a government, and it's only going to get worse. But our plantation owners in Jamaica are looking to quell the uprising of the slaves to make sure massa sinting them okay. But let's look to Antigua for leadership. This tourism sector debacle with the Antiguans started 8 years ago, and it has resurfaced again. And the Antiguan Prime Minister is no pushover. I mean, he doesn't bend down like Jamaican political official, nor does he bend over or bow down. No, he does not. He stands as a revolutionary.
by hotel mogul Gordon Butch Stewart has accused the Gaston Brown administration in Antigua of reneging on an agreement reached with the previous government. That deal, Sandals says, would have resulted in the transfer of a parcel of land adjoining the Grand Pineapple Beach Resort for no more than $3.5 million and concessions under the Antigua and Barbuda sales tax ABST. However, in a response detailing their discontent published in the Jamaica Observer on June 20, 2016, the SRI says it now understands the land may have been sold to others. In addition to arguing that the Antiguan government has breached the Treaty of Chaguaramas, the hotel chain is also threatening legal action to protect its reputation. Sandals has accused Prime Minister Gaston Brown of making, among other things, quote, two very serious and highly defamatory allegations. In a letter addressed to the Antiguan Prime Minister and published in the Jamaica Observer on June 17, 2016, the letter states, quote, alternative arrangements made with your government to replace the pineapple deal did not come to fruition. Not being able to realize our beaches project, we had no alternative but to sell that hotel. We are not allowed to undertake the beaches project. The resort would then have enjoyed the benefits of the host country agreement. In other words, Grand Pineapple in its current state did not qualify for ABST fiscal benefits under the host country agreement, and ABST was charged and accounted for at the standard rate, end quote. The letter continues, quote, the government of Antigua and Barbuda undoubtedly subscribes to the rule of law, and its action is unilaterally breaking a valid and binding agreement was to our mind a matter of national importance. Indeed, in this case, it also has regional implication, for its flies in the very face of the Treaty of Chaguaramas, which ironically was signed at the very hotel which is the subject of this dispute. The fact of the matter reached the attention of Her Majesty opposition ought not to be a matter of concern. Now, seeing Caribbean news caught up with the Antiguan Prime Minister at the recent CARICOM summit in Ghana, and while not revealing much about the talks at this stage, he said his government will not be strong-armed.
We have given an undertaking not to discuss this issue any further in the public domain. It's really an issue between a sovereign independent state and a taxpayer. But we maintain that the laws of the country.
Hello, good morning. If you choose not to hit the like button, whichever platform you're on, you can send a £2 super chat. It will be much appreciated if your finger is that cold or that stiff.
Must be adhered to by Sandals, by all other operators. And that is really the crux of the matter, and we expect to go through a period of negotiations very shortly, and we just hope that common sense will prevail and that they can understand that they cannot bully my government into submission, that they have to respect the laws of the country, that they have to comply with the laws of the country.
Regarding the dispute over whether Sandals is undercutting the sales tax, which should be charged to the guests and turned over to the government, the hotel says it bills guests the full charge and turns over the 12.5% collected to the government. Mr. Brown explains his concern.
Well, I think that we have a very strong investment climate in Antigua and Barbuda, easily one of the best within the Caribbean and beyond. We give very generous concessions. In fact, Sandals itself enjoys up to 25 years corporate tax-free status. They practically enjoy duty-free concessions in everything that they import into the country, including food and beverage. The dispute really is over the collection of ABST, which is a tax that is paid by their customers. And they have made a point that the former administration had allowed them to discount that amount by 65%. And we're saying that.
So, this leader is saying, not on my watch, not in my country, not to my people. But this Prime Minister is very powerful. Let's even listen to him more on the current development of the issue. Because we leader play, you know, all leaders are playing. All leaders are working in the interest of those who are suppressing us.
Who deserve a good pay. You have the government that ought to get its fair share of taxes. You cannot just concentrate exclusively on exploiting concessions and to push governments into the ground. You all need to stop it. That kind of model, it is a slave model. It's a colonialistic model that does not work for the Caribbean people. You need to step up. And I expect a brand like Sandals, that we all admire as a Caribbean brand, should feel proud that we're making a significant contribution to government revenues, and should feel proud that your workers can earn enough money to get a mortgage, to own a decent home, a decent car. Not just about you expanding while others are struggling. We can't even attract locals to work in the hotel sector because of the pay so small. While you're making tens of millions of dollars every year out of each of these small economies. And then every time there's a little assessment about your taxes, you come with all kind of reasons why you should not be paying and challenging inland revenue. I'm tired of it. When it comes to that now, if you can't.
Hello, people. This is not a vlogger speaking, you know. This is the Prime Minister of Antigua.
Ensure that there's an equitable dispensation going forward where everybody benefit. If you just Sandals alone to benefit, well, take your hotel elsewhere. And I'm dead serious. And I don't want this matter to end up in the public domain like the last time. Because, you know, I don't want to fight with you all. I want to fight you in the body. But you're overdoing it. I was shocked when, you know, Inland Revenue said to me that they're not cooperating. They want to take out all kind of deductions out of the ABST. You know, they're paying it now. They're collecting the ABST from their customers. But at the same time, remember, they get all the corporation taxes off.
So
and the little ABST.
What would they pull from that?
Boy, they put all kind of something in there about they advertise this and that cost and all kind of foolishness. I am just tired of Sandals, tired of them. Tired. And again, as I said, I really don't necessarily want this matter to become a big public spat. But if it ends up being in a public spat again, if it's one man, they're not going to recoil from any fight with them in the interest of the people of Antigua and Barbuda. It's me. And they ought to know that. And I hope they don't try and test me. So y'all need to settle up your bill. We need monies to fund the country. And stop fighting inland revenue. And it's not me who tell inland revenue to go and do an assessment, yeah? They did it on their own volition. But at the same time, Sandals just continue to play these games. And we know what these hotels do to you now. So, you know what they do, for example? So bad-minded and greedy. If, for example, a tourist pays $1,000 a night, you know what they do? They have all kind of middle company in the United States and so on. So by the time they report the money, you report half. So you get instead of getting your 17% ABST on the 1,000 and get on the $70, you're getting half if you're lucky. I mean, y'all got to stop it. And the believers are always stupid, you know. Bad-mindedness. So it's like the government not supposed to get nothing. They must get everything. And you know the last situation we had with them. And then on top of that, they had an agreement with the farm administration to hold on to 65% of the ABST. Not their money, you know. And then when we negotiate to them and say to them, hey, you can't do that. It's not your money. It's trust money that you're holding on behalf of the state. They ridicule me up and down the Caribbean saying I'm removing concessions. Government taxes can be that you're collecting on behalf of government. Can be any concession. And the thing is, you know, they can't do that in countries like the United States because they'll go to jail. But they feel that, you know, Caribbean countries are small and powerless. And you know what they keep doing? As soon as you have a dispute with them, they threaten to shut down the hotel. And if you notice that, remember they did the same thing too? Talk about they're going to do repairs, do something. And in fact, the last time they did that, you think they did any substantial repairs? They must have changed the color of the building at the time. I mean, come on, man. All of us are stakeholders. Be reasonable. You can't want to run your staff in the ground. The private government have much needed taxes to run the country, and they want the best services too, But at the same time, they don't want to contribute their fair share of taxes. I observed too that within the Caribbean Tourism Association, they carried some argument there saying how government is reducing their concessions, and in that case, it's going to create a problem for the hotel sector. Well, I responded, and I said to them, look, you have different stakeholders in this sector, it's not just the hotels alone, and they can't get everything. You must ensure that the staff can benefit equitably and the governments as well. I don't know what more concessions they want. You get up to 25 years tax-free concession. You have to pay $1 in corporate taxes. We have no capital appreciation tax. Withholding taxes are waived invariably. What else do they want? What do they want from the people of the Caribbean? What they want? They want the shirts too? So I'm saying here, going forward, we need to see a more equitable model in this sector, because the sector needs to work for us. Not just one set of, worse than the plantation economy when the Europeans and them and the North Americans used to take all the money, repatriate it, and the bill not here. It's the same thing they're doing too, repatriating all the money to build hotels elsewhere. And then they make some little token contributions and, behave as though there's some kind of big time, corporate responsible administration, entity, which is not the case, So I'm just saying, I'm just tired of that kind of gaming, and I want to make sure that going forward there's a better relationship with these hotels.
Where have you ever heard a Caribbean leader speak with such conviction, without fear of the slave master influence, sanctions, or whatever? Come try and test me, he said. Don't try and test me, he said. I am one man that will stand up to the whole of them. Almighty God, Jamaica now go come out of slavery, because we not anybody with such a backbone. It's just not there. But it continues, done yet.
Taking a firm stand against Sandals Resorts International. He's warning that if the company closes its doors in Antigua, the government may step in, seize the property, and sell it to new investors. This comes as Brown claims Sandals owes more than 24 million East Caribbean dollars in unpaid taxes from 2017 to 2021. On his radio show, Brown raised concerns about Sandals' structure, saying it leaves workers at risk of losing severance if the company goes under.
Sandals, all the layering you all doing and protecting yourselves and putting the staff at risk, the Gaston Brown administration will bring that to an end. And if it applies to any other company that are operating hotels in this country, I'll deal with them too, because the law applies to everybody. And hear this now, they're not giving the staff the credit now. So they're using staff tips in their foundation and taking all the credit as Sandals.
That can't be right.
And they're so wicked. You know what they've done? They will set up people to stay at the hotel or go and eat at the hotel. Allowing the person will go and tip you 50 US or 100 US. And if you don't put it in the Sandals and Foundation, they fire you. You're telling me that in this 21st century, that we can allow Sandals or any other hotel property to treat our people like that, including our CARICOM nationals? Really? I am saying here that that is a type of plantation behavior that I am totally opposed to. And Sandals would be put in their place. In fact, if we have to go to Parliament to deal with that tip policy, to tell them to touch the staff tip, we'll deal with it too. If Sandals decide to spite us and lock down the hotel, we go to Parliament, we compulsory acquire it, and we sell it to somebody else so that it can be reopened.
Sir, we beg you, when you step down, if the Antigua people them vote against you, sir, you just need to come to Jamaica, come live for 12 months, and you can enter representational politics in Jamaica as per our constitution, because you're a Commonwealth country, aren't you? You think we're ever going to come out of slavery, Jamaica, with the type of leaders that we have? The type of cock-sucking, pock-picketing, boot-licking, butt-snotting politicians that we have? Do you think we're going to come out of slavery unless we do it ourselves? Because if we are waiting for this type of leadership that we're hearing from the Antigua PM, I mean, generations of us are going to die in slavery right here in Jamaica. We will never have such strong leaders. We don't have such strong leaders, because if J.C. Hutchison can give you $5,000 and a box food, or if Andrew gunman them can point gun pan we and say you can't go a polling station, when you hit the like button, come have some mix up for go now. Can't go a polling station. When you think we're going to ever come out of slavery? Jamaica people, you know we don't want anything. It is why the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party can continue to play with we, because they realize we don't want anything. They realize that we're happy to get on the bandwagon of their effort that does not serve us. Look at one of the major employers in Jamaica, the tourism sector. Edmund Bartlett, the Prime Minister, Delano Steve Wright, Pernell Charles Jr. They're all falling over to sniff the butt of the slave masters' children in order to quell the rebellion on the plantation. I come tell you about, come, see master have cold drinks and food, yeah, so come out of the sun and under the F.U. Delano Franklin, Delano Steve Wright. It was you that says we're going to reset the tourism industry because Jamaicans are make money out of it and now do not know out of it. So we're going to recoup it for the benefit of our white friends. Was it not that? Who wants some mix up? If you don't want some mix up, take the likes to 200 right now, please. Me have some mix. Call Dancehall Queen. Dancehall Queen, Colleen, come here, please. Come here because you're on it. Come, I can give you advice. So don't hit the like button. I go on a message to the Dancehall Queen. Fast. I want my case talk and go about my business. On my case, hit the like button, take it up to 200. And then me can tell on a Dancehall Queen Colleen business. If you don't want to hear Colleen business, hit the like button. Hit the like button if you want to hear Dancehall Queen Colleen's business. Come on, hurry up. Call Colleen while you're at it. Call Colleen, we have some advice. So you can't say me contentious. Me not care. She in a public life, if I'm a young boy, me I watch her dance on stage. So therefore, me can enter play anytime me want. You would have remember Colleen did for go down me brethren back then go walk Obia, but it never work. Hey, you don't know what Colleen dance all quick. Let me tell you something, Colleen. You see, when something done, move on to something else. If it is that you can only dance and you're shy for talk, come back, come act like go over TikTok or on social media. It will sell, my dear, because people have antics and effort on social media. It certainly will sell. The popularity you had then, it's all over, my dear. It's all over. I've seen you try to latch on to Dana. I've seen you try to latch on to Andre because you want to rejuvenate yourself and you want to come back into the celebrity spheres of where all of the failed entertainers are coming. I know, oh, no climb down, you know. Oh, no climb down from all the way up there, so. Come down here, so. I battle with careless people on social media. That, my dear, I do not get. But you can make a name for yourself on social media, you know. What you must not do, though, Colleen, is continue to either rely upon Obia or rely upon other people to drag you along the way with them. I mean, get up and do for yourself. Put yourself out there on social media. If you want that popularity, my dear, that is exactly what you will need to do. But the leeching and the Obia walking, Carleen, it now go put you back there. Did you not see when Babsy go light the candle? What happened to the Labour Party after that? So when me have to tell you now, you see, since she and Andre broke up, you don't know who Colleen go to on a regular basis now. Rydell Rowe. Yes. A down the dance all queen. They walk Obia every Sunday. A down the dance all queen. I go for deliverance every Sunday. Colleen, do it naturally, my dear. Right here, so where you see dancehall queen, it's done naturally. We now look no evil spirit to push we go so. We take with time grow, Colleen. If for me, my dear, it was about money, you know how careless me wouldn't be out here. Not much of us, Colleen, like me, have 3 monetized YouTube channel and don't frantically over social media I spread negativity for money. I could have done it because negativity sells. I mean, I have 3 platforms ready to monetize to sell negativity. I choose otherwise though, Colleen. Low the Obia, my girl. Do it naturally. Low the Obia and do it naturally. You just have to come out here and be your authentic self. In a social media land, you don't need nobody to push you. What you need, my dear, is consistency, determination, and a can-do spirit. You will make it, girlfriend. When the Obia run out, you're going to fall down flat again. If you do it naturally, you grow old gracefully. Love the Obia, my girl. Love the Obia, dancehall queen. When 30 years ago, when you did popular, we was a nobody. And we never mad over you. Love the Obia, my girl. Love it. You can strive without the Opa Obia, the Opa reading, the Olipa bathing, and them something that love it. And do your thing naturally. You can bake, you can dance. There's a lot you can do out here. If you're not nothing positive to do, come dance. Put on gym suit and come dance. Jamaica people careless. Across the world, we are careless. We love to see every. So drop the Obia and be your natural self. All right, my dear? Just a message let me have for you. Drop the Obia and be your natural self. You know, too love the dark world push you know, figure further. And when the dark world push you know, just have an automatic collapse when the 10-year or the 5-year won't pay the Obia man for run out. Do it naturally. It can be done naturally. All right? So drop the hope of Obia, my tons. It now go rejuvenate you. Trust me. You see nobody a dance butterfly again, darling? Remember, your career and butterfly was back then. You see nobody a dance butterfly now, Carleen. Hmm? My girl, go find something do and load the obia. Just like how you lose your dancing skill, the obia now go push you back up. You see, in life, you have to learn to transit. You have to learn to transfer your skills, my dear, to something else. Yes, that's how life go. Otherwise, this is why you're stagnantly looking for spiritual help or for people with fame to drug you up along with them, dear. Try to do something otherwise. You hear me say? All right, then. That's all I want to tell you this morning, Colleen. It's not mix up, it's just harsh advice. Hmm? You may see it as mix up, my dear. It's just cut to the trace advice. All right. Echo said, upgrade your skill, my dear. Upgrade your skill. Hmm? Upgrade it. Beat and teach. You just a come when we are done. I forgot taught all over again. Wagwan. No, sir. But Jamaica, on a very serious note, we must not stand for racism. We must do any and everything in our power. Carlos Gray, morning, bro. Wagwan. We must do every and anything within our power to stand against racism, particularly those of us who lives in the diaspora and have to engage racism. We must not tolerate it. We must not support the oppression that we are fighting against. We must not allow the Jamaica Labour Party to rule us with violence. It is what they're promising us and threatening us and carrying out as we see the fracas during the by-election result. But today is conference. Today is the glory parade of the Jamaica Labour Party, their 81st annual general conference, in the middle of calamity, debacle, losing at the polls. I wonder how it will turn out if the Prime Minister will have to spend billions or millions to chuck people into conference to fill up the arena. I hope the vloggers that will be streaming live today don't have crickneck and just hold the camera one place. Turn it around, push it back in and turn it around. Let us see the crowd today. We are interested in the crowd. We really are, because the Jamaica Labour Party base has been falling apart so woefully. Uno fall apart so woefully to the point where it's only going to get worse. Things, as they say, whoa! Nesta big birthday bash. Nesta set up say galang in a rishos. No, sir. Nesta set up. Hold on, I wonder how quick me can get this into my studio. Nesta set up for the big day. Set up, Nesta set up. But did Nesta not? Nesta party, it was said, was under the theme full sweep. Full sweep, Nesta said, but the result are not promising for the Jamaica Labour Party, because if Marissa Dalrymple Filberth couldn't bring out 5,000 people to vote for a veteran politician, a politician with her hands in the cookie jar, couldn't bring out 5,000 people in a by-election, that's worrying for the Jamaica Labour Party. if a veteran seat like Nigel Clark, a veteran seat like Dr. the Honorable, the best since sliced bread, Nigel Clark, you couldn't scoop 2,000 people. This is a councillor, a sitting councillor, and the division, the constituency, you couldn't mount up 2,000 votes across the constituency in order to replace Nigel Clark. Nigel Clark was replaced so thinly. So thinly, Nigel Clark was replaced. This only signal problem for the Jamaica Labour Party comes general election. Some would be of the view that the Prime Minister ought to take the election down to the wire and try his best, don't know what they're talking about, to repair his credibility before the general election constitutionally due in September of next year. The Jamaica Labour Party think they're going to win a third term. Andrew Holness is confident that he will be able to lead them to victory in a third term. Here is my advice to you, Prime Minister. To remain a viable opposition after the next general election, it is very important that you call the election as soon as possible. The minute, Prime Minister, that another illicit report surfaces, your credibility as a leader and as a government will shrink. Because one, you would have to ask that person to step aside for public life and integrity. And it will also be hypocritical, Prime Minister, for you to ask a member of yours to step aside when you are under the same investigation. Do you see, Prime Minister, how your foot become more tied up as this thing continues? Your best chance, Andrew Holness, of a third term is now. No make nobody fool you. Not take advice from Cliff Hughes or those lot round corner. When you have your best interest at heart, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, I have your best interest at heart. It is the reason, Prime Minister, why I am telling you your best shot, your best shot, Prime Minister, is no. No is the best time. You're not going to be given another opportunity as glorious as this one, particularly, Prime Minister, if it's about taking your party to 3 successful wins or victory, whatever you want to call them, Prime Minister. Robert Honeywell said, call it, Andrew, call it. The country ready and awaits you, sir. The country wants to go out and vote. The country wants to aid your pivoting, Prime Minister. We don't want you alone to pivot. We, the people, want to pivot with you. Because the pivoting, what you say, we are going to do, you know. We are going to see and feel tangibility from that pivoting. You mean, say, the baby born, the baby grow, and now the Prime Minister come to us and say, oh, me just realize the baby now grow. Let us pivot to growing the baby. I mean, what milk are you going to use, Prime Minister? Or are you going to use Gerber? Or what are you going to use to make the baby grow? You stabilize the baby. Prime Minister, you know, when we talk after you, we sound like we dunce. Because instead of thing them where you talk don't really make no sense. So when we repeat them, you see, when we repeat them, we sound dunce and fool, just like you. Call it, Prime Minister, call it. If you are so confident, anybody in political strategy would know that if Andrew Holness build a house for all of it tomorrow, it still doesn't repair his credibility. When it's done, Prime Minister. Move on. You're killing the life of the party. You're doing something that will usher another majority government like yours, which I don't agree with. I don't want Mark Golden to get more than 35 to 37 seats in the representative. I don't want another leader to get 49, 50 seats in the representative. It's not healthy for democracy. The same road to tyranny to democracy, Prime Minister. It's the same road you are taking the Jamaica Labour Party and the country to tyranny at the moment. But we can roll it back, Prime Minister. Rolled it back. And Jamaica, we are playing to the Antiguan people. Lend we on a Prime Minister, please. True, we not anybody to turn up for we. We are borrow on a Prime Minister. There's a few leaders in Africa and the Caribbean who are rising up. As fast as a leader rise in support of the plantation workers, we must support them. We must support them. If we do not revolt on the plantation, take the revolt to the street, we're never going to be free from this 600 years of slavery that we have been immersed in as a people. Let me say some hellos. Beat and Teach, Denise Hilton, Echo, Ebenezer, Cody. Who else have Ivan Bradford? Robert, Carl Robert. Who else has arrived? Mass Control. Who else have I seen? I've seen a few people arrived. Sweeney, good evening and welcome. Your current live stream is hard to see. Because me close the camera, me don't want to look for me. I'm talking to over Clapper, you see. On Clapper and TikTok, I blocked my camera. So Clapper tell me for them want to see me. I want to see me for Carlos Wagwan, bro. Jamaica people, we need a change. We need a new direction. A new direction that us, the people, design for ourselves. Not a new direction that benefit the slave master. And if you want to support me and GTV, if you want to watch the dead live uninterrupted from advert, then for now, GTV Group is the best place to watch it because you escape the adverts over there. However, it won't be long though because it's rolled in its way up to advert as well as the other two platforms, Producer Wayne and Studio TV. They are rolling advert. So if you don't want me to go dance, go on social media to make money. Support black businesses. If you don't support black business do not strive. All right? So thank you all for being here this morning on a Sunday morning. I was to run out this morning because when I looked at the political violence over the weekend, I should have done the tourism sector galangin from Friday, but me and it never gel well together. And so I have to gel the two of these together this morning and fix it. Beta and Teach send me one video with Nesta set up, but oh yes, it just reached on the studio. It just reached. Hold on, let me see. No, it not reached to my studio yet. So these common drunkers from the Labour Party. But the Labour Party is disgusting. Their behavior is disgusting. And they ought to be called out. They ought to be called out. We cannot tolerate this behavior in Jamaica. Want to know how hard we have to fight racism as foreign? And then to see the same party that promotes whiteness in Jamaica are the same party that lead the charge of racism. I mean, Everard Warmington, we help you pack your bag, you know. We help you push the ag truck over the precipice. You can't go on. None of we not stop you. But what Jamaica is not going to do is to immerse themselves or ourselves in the racism and the bigotry of the CIA-created Jamaica Labour Party. Because every time the CIA says them a lose, them either turn up the violence or the illusion. Jamaicans, vote for Jamaica, don't vote for the CIA. The CIA is a what's you might call it? The Jamaica Labour Party is a CIA construct. When you vote for the Jamaica Labour Party, you vote for the CIA. You're not voting for Jamaica. When you vote for the Jamaica Labour Party, you're not voting for Jamaica. You're voting for the CIA. So be careful when you now vote. And let me tell you, Andrew Holness, don't spoil up my thing. Because all of a sudden, you get up and talk about concrete. Concrete not a viable alternative to asphalt for road repair, says the Prime Minister. That's not what my plan was, Prime Minister. That's not the policy that I advance. I'm asking that you replace marl with concrete. So we're not asking to use concrete as an alternative to asphalt. No, we're asking that the two is being gelled together. So rather than laying marl, Power Road, you lay concrete, then you asphalt. That's the proposal I've put to you, Prime Minister. So I don't want to go on and I try this and I do that and do it in an effed up way for waste Jamaica people money. And it turned out that it's not any use to Jamaica. Drive safe, Jamaica people. How long before we see any of that money? Write down one of the on screen, please. You just need to write down the 5 word, the SEERS. It may be something that you may soon start here, some point in the future. And you see the gate and the bill up there, so you see the 2025 down here, so. If I can't read symbol, I can't read any play on a phone. So, all right. Thank you very much for being here this morning on the Global Television Group. It's lovely to have your support on a Sunday morning. We might come back tonight, you know. We might come back tonight. We will look at how it is fair enough for the Jamaica Labour Party 81st annual conference throughout the day, because certainly everybody will be looking at how low their spirits are or how much they have spent in order to get the crowd out there this evening. So we will monitor how it is going on, and if we need to come back and criticize or analyze anything, we will certainly do so. Have yourself a wonderful rest of the Sunday, and of course, enjoy your Sunday meal. Thank you very much for being here this morning, this afternoon on the Global Television Group. Make sure to keep an eye on the thingy radar. So if we set a broadcast for tonight, you're all notified. Thank you very much. Good morning and good afternoon from the Global Television Group.
I truly believe our political system needs some fixing. Too much you hear about corrupt politicians and nothing happen. Too much you hear about politicians who take away poor people money and none of them reach in jail. And to the young people at home or wherever you are, and to all Jamaicans, I have one question for you. Take a look at your communities. Take a look at the sliding dollar. Take a look at the failing healthcare and ask yourselves, where is the progress? Where is the progress that this arrogant and disrespectful government keeps talking about? With this existing callous government, matters have gone from bad to worse.